Ile utamu iko hapa, watafurahia sana.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. It is just 10 minutes drive from Kitengela town and 3.8 kilometers off the tarmac. This gated community project comes with solar street lighting, maram roads, beautiful trees, 24-hour security, and water connected to every plot. The best part is, families are already living here. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optiven.co.ke.
Optiven Limited, the pacesetters in real estate.
More than ever, a clean bathroom is important to ensuring the safety of yourself and your family, as this is the first room we visit to wash up after coming from outside. Ace Bathroom Cleaner is a powerful antibacterial limescale remover for all your sinks, tiles and bathroom surfaces. Ace Bathroom Cleaner strips away grime and soap scum on all bathroom surfaces, brightens your bathroom surfaces without leaving any residue, kills and prevents the growth of germs. Ace, we make your home feel brand new.
Rashes again? Kisskids diapers. Kisskids, no rashes. Kisskids, no rashes. Bye-bye rashes. Buy diapers. Choose Kisskids.
Niko sawa. Ni venye nimetoka clinic na baba Brenda.
Mume wako anakubali mwende hospitali pamoja? Wangu hata nimlipe, hauwezi kubali.
Ilibidi twende na yeye, nipimwe. Yeye hapimwe. Kama kuna HIV, nipewe dawa ndio mtoto asipate HIV.
Wanaume wenzangu, kuandamana na mama akienda clinic na pia kujua hali yako ya HIV ni muhimu. Inaonyesha unamjali na pia unajali mtoto wako mtarajiwa. Je, unajijua?
Unapoendelea kujikinga kutokana na HIV, tafadhali zingatia taratibu zote za serikali za kujikinga na virusi vya korona.
Afya bora, maisha bora. Jipime, jiinue.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa. Where you shop matters.
Have you filed your 2019 tax returns? You have few days remaining. Do it today and avoid the last-minute rush. Log on to itax.kra.go.ke.
Here we are, living in the moment. And here we are, dreaming in the open. Now look around, isn't this a new day? Make a move, doing things a new way. A new way. Cause this is our world, and this is our time. These are our plans, we're gonna let them shine. This is our place in the human race, and we won't stop dreaming. No, we won't stop dreaming.
The future of our nation relies on your dreams and our steel. Tononoka Group, at the core of every construction.
It is important to note that proper waste management is an essential public duty in the fight against COVID-19. As NEMA, we've developed a robust national guidelines on safe handling and disposal of this waste. We need to be responsible as citizens of this country to ensure that we do not mix household domestic waste with other hazardous waste. Used gloves, masks should be treated essentially as hazardous waste.
NEMA, mazingira yetu, uhai wetu, wajibu wetu.
Nuclear Power and Energy Agency, NUPEA, mandate entails development of nuclear power program for electricity generation in Kenya, carrying out research for development of energy technologies, and capacity building for the energy sector.
We at NUPEA joined the country in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. We urge our employees to strictly follow guidelines as provided by the government, maintain social distance, and undertake hygiene practices such as hand washing with soap and running water or use of sanitizer, as well as wearing the mask but all the time when in public, including the office. And I urge you to stay safe, fellow Kenyans.
This is NTV.
Hello there and welcome to NTV Weekend Edition. This Sunday, the 28th day of June 2020. I trust you've been keeping safe for the last 3 months and it feels good to be back into circulation. Tonight, the global tally of the COVID-19 infections has topped the 10 million mark in the world. As at this hour, 10,169,671 people have been infected with the virus across the world. Slightly more than half of that have recovered at 5,508,706, while 502,808 have lost their lives. In Africa, 376,194 have now been infected as of this hour. 182,195 have recovered, whereas 9,551 have died from the disease. In the United States of America, which remains a global epicenter, infections have soared to 2,617,847 with 128,243 deaths and 1,082,212 recoveries also being reported in the last hour. The top stories tonight. Tonight, reopening the economy. The border barriers are about to be lifted.
We are opening up the lockdown that we have had between inter-county lockdown.
But it is a catch-22.
Should we sacrifice a few people to suffer from COVID-19 and open the economy, or should we close the economy? People suffer economically, but we save lives.
Also tonight, beware of cooking gas cartels in and out of government, illegally refilling branded cylinders. Plus, legalizing abortion. Senator Susan Kihika's bill receives harsh opposition, but she stands her ground.
They will engage in masturbation, same-sex relationships, rape, bestiality, incest, teenage sex.
It's disheartening, especially when I hear that is from church.
What is the cost? And Governor Anne Waiguru may have survived, but MCAs say it is unbelievable, unfortunate, and they are unbowed.
We shall not give up. Neither your deep pockets nor your influence will desist our pursuit of justice for the people of Kirinyaga.
This is Weekend Edition with Edmund Nyabola.
Welcome to our broadcast tonight. Our sign language interpreter is David Agondoa. Now, the COVID-19 infections are still soaring as the country's leadership mulls over further reopening of the economy. 259 people have tested positive for the COVID-19 disease out of 2,718 samples tested in the last 24 hours. Of these, 159 are Kenyans and 3 are foreigners. In the county breakdown, Nairobi has 127 new patients, Mombasa 39, Kiambu County number 22 has 22 new infections, Machakos has 16, Busia County has 11. Makueni, Nakuru and Uasin Gishu counties each have 9 more people testing positive for the disease, while Kilifi has 5, Kajiado 3, and Kisumu, Lamu and Garissa and Marsabit counties each have 2 patients each. Kwale has recorded 1 new case. Lamu is the latest county to report a COVID-19 patient, bringing the total number of counties affected to 41. 35 patients have been discharged and bringing the total number of recoveries to 1,971. Unfortunately, and sadly so, 2 patients have died, bringing the total number of fatalities to 143, and more grace to their families, and may their souls rest in peace. Now, as the number of COVID-19 infections worldwide top the 10 million mark, many developed countries appear to be taking one step forward and several steps back as they are forced to reinforce containment measures, days after easing them. As the Kenyan government prepares to further ease restrictions in the country on movement, the question is, will it suffer the same fate? Olive Barros has more.
Sophie's choice. Effectively a choice between 2 evils. And it's between this rock and hard place that President Uhuru Kenyatta finds himself with regard to the COVID-19 pandemic. Open up the economy and risk losing thousands of lives to the virus and overwhelming Kenya's already tenuous healthcare system, or keep Kenya closed and continue to render thousands jobless and hopeless.
Question is, should we sacrifice a few people to suffer from COVID-19 and reopen the economy, or should we close the economy? People suffer economically, but we save lives. It is not a yes or no answer. It's a very difficult question.
Containment measures have indeed saved lives. However, they have too led to economic contraction, loss of jobs.
Economies far more developed than Kenya's are reeling from the shock and have gone on to ease restrictions on movement. And this is a path that Kenya is preparing to take.
We are going to be starting domestic flights, and this is what we're going to use as our trial over the, let's say, next couple of days, because we are opening up the lockdown that we have had between inter-county lockdown.
Problem is, as President Kenyatta himself acknowledges, this will inevitably see a rise in infections as those who've lost their jobs in the metropolis travel up country at the first opportunity to counties admittedly ill-prepared to manage an influx of infections. And even with home-based care marketed as an alternative, many now living below the poverty line barely have a room to share.
Nobody knows the right time to open. It's a matter of common sense, and weighing the benefits and the dangers. Cannot be not sure. It's not like mathematics there, 1 + 1 is always 2. This is a little different, and it's trial and error.
What government hopes to do is mitigate the impact of reopening the economy, or risk ending up back at square one. The economy even worse off should cases soar and far outstrip available resources. On top of the requirement that counties meet a minimum bed capacity of 300, they will be required to 1. Scale down rapid response teams to the sub-county level, 2. Enhance capacity to detect and manage cases, 3. Effectively communicate risks to residents, 4. Adopt a triage system at county borders.
There's also a triage system, simply asking you whether you have cough or difficulty in breathing. We'll be able to pick about 80% of the COVID cases.
5. Supply masks to elderly and those with pre-existing conditions as the governments work towards expanding lab testing from the current 28 centers in 12 counties.
Opening up too quickly also has its downside, as we have seen in different parts of the world.
A balancing act on a tight rope. One miscalculated step and Kenya risks jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. Olive Barros, NTV.
Now, much as it has backed orders in enforcement of COVID-19 measures, the government of Kenya has come across as toothless and applying double standards. Several political leaders have normalized constant flouting of the measures on the social distancing, not wearing masks in the required manner, as well as violating the ban on public gatherings. On the other hand, the common mwananchi is left to bear the brunt of not adhering to the set guidelines. The Ministry of Health, however, says that everyone will be accountable.
It becomes the responsibility of each and every one of us. And really true leadership dictates that, you can emulate, and you can provide guidance and leadership to your citizenry. And so we call on each and every person to adhere to these measures to help us when it comes to enforcing this behavior change. And one of the ways you can help us is, by actually practicing it in all the different convenings that you may have. Ensure that you practice the masking and that you practice the hand washing.
Away from COVID-19, and the Evangelical Alliance of Kenya is urging the Senate to reject the Reproductive Health Bill, which, among other things, proposes to legalize abortion. The church leaders instead want the legislature to collaborate with stakeholders to come up with a wholesome bill that would present the opinions of parents and the church. Charity Mwangi has more.
It has been the talk of town. Since the pandemic hit, the number of unplanned pregnancies have gone up, which has set the stage for the Reproductive Health Bill that seems to rub the clergy the wrong way.
Normalizes underage sex and goes further to open the door for children between the ages of 10 to 17 that they should receive contraceptives, safe abortion, and comprehensive sexuality education, which teaches that sex is for pleasure and that sexual pleasure is a right.
The reported increase in unexpected pregnancies, according to the church leaders, is a fabricated narrative by organizations keen to introduce foreign ideologies.
The kinds of numbers that we are being given, you would be seeing pregnant girls all over the streets.
I have not seen a penny, and I never push an agenda for money.
The Reproductive Health Bill, currently before the Senate, highlights issues to do with sexual health education, contraception, and provisions for legal termination of pregnancies. The topics, emotive as they may be, demand attention, according to the sponsor of the bill, Senator Susan Kehika.
And whether the numbers are inflated to say 4,000, 10,000 instead of 1,000, then there is still that group of 1,000 that we need to reach.
The clergymen claim that the bill presents a slippery slope that will destroy the moral fabric of the society.
They will engage in masturbation, same-sex relationships, rape, bestiality, incest, teenage sex.
Sasa huyu mtoto amezaliwa, amekuwa adopted na mashoga. Huyu jamaa hana matiti ya kulisha yule mtoto. Si stability ya huyo mtoto itakuwa imeharibika.
I'm trying to understand what is so bad about spiritual and moral guidance being covered. Cancelling on abstinence.
Senator Susan Kehika has withdrawn a section of the bill that gave provisions for abortion of pregnancies of babies suspected to bear physical or mental disabilities. She says that she is willing to accommodate opinions from stakeholders on how to make the bill more palatable.
We had public participation. The committee is going through those amendments. But I'm also saying if there is any other contentious issues that are in the bill, let's not also bring things in that are not in the bill.
While the senator hopes the bill that is currently going through the third reading passes, it is certain to be met with resistance.
It is illegal, and life begins at conception, and every human being has a right to life.
The church has called upon the God-fearing senators to reject the bill in its entirety. Charity Mwangi, NTV.
Now, the conviction and sentencing of Sirisia Member of Parliament John Waluke and Grace Wahungu in the 314 million shillings NCPB scandal has no doubt opened a can of worms and sent jitters down the spine of many high-profile individuals with corruption cases in court. Now, while the two have become the latest faces of graft, Jacob Juma, who was one of the co-accused, would have suffered, I should say, a similar fate, but was killed a few years ago, and the murder case still remains cold. Tonight, Ken Mijungu tells us the other people who, by default or design, rubbed shoulders with the trio.
You perhaps have been asking how a fictitious 314 million shilling invoice was paid through the public coffers in the maize scandal that has seen Sirisia Member of Parliament John Waluke and Grace Wahungu sentenced over it. Well, deceit, manipulation and intimidation were at the center. Proper connections in the right places was the aiding factor, and a chance-disputed election nailed it for these fraudsters. The plot begins in 2004 when the government issued a maize importation quota to bridge the deficit that exposed many across the country to hunger and possible starvation. The Minister for Agriculture then was Kipruto Arap-Kirwa. The convicts, John Waluke, the late Jacob Juma and Grace Wahungu, through their company Erad Supplies, won a contract to supply 40,000 metric tons of maize. We now know they never delivered on that contract, and they never intended to deliver the maize. The dispute was to drag on to 2007, and after the disputed election, William Ruto became the Minister of Agriculture. The ministry was then to commission an investigation, and after a report was delivered, the whole board of NCPB was sent home, save for the chairperson, Jim Nambaru. The new board members were Dr. Adrian Wekulo, Elias Barishil, Rosa Akinyi, Mohamed Islam, and Timothy Busienei. 7 months after the appointment and the successful arbitration between NCPB and Erad Supplies, the company was awarded more than 300 million shillings in damages for the aborted contract. Lawyer Evans Gaturu was the appointed arbitrator. NCPB, being dissatisfied with the award, went to court, and Erad Supplies appointed city lawyer Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi to represent it. The award was transferred to Soita and Saende Advocates, which in turn paid the lawyers 79 million shillings. Wahungu and Waluke were paid 90 million shillings, while the huge sum of 127 million shillings was collected in cash by a faceless individual who became the major beneficiary. The landmark ruling was delivered by Chief Magistrate Elizabeth Juma. Eyes now turn to the DPP to see if the other individuals who are party to the scam will be taken in to face charges. Ken Mijungu, NTV.
It's 14 minutes past 9 p.m. We take our first short breather on NTV Weekend Edition. We still have plenty more for you. Please stay with us.
Did you know there's a laundry bar soap that can help save you time, water, and money? Try Whitewash Extra, the 3-in-1 soap, detergent, and softener. Its unique formula provides a quick and effective wash, softens fabrics, and is gentle on your hands too. So you save by not having to use multiple products. And you only rinse once. For a laundry soap that can help save you time, water, and money, try Whitewash Extra. Brand power, helping you buy better.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. It is just 10 minutes drive from Kitengela town and 3.8 kilometers off the tarmac. This gated community project comes with solar street lighting, Maram roads, beautiful trees, 24-hour security, and water connected to every plot. The best part is, families are already living here. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optiven.co.ke.
Optiven Limited, the pay-saters in real estate. Have you filed your 2019 tax returns? You have few days remaining. Do it today and avoid the last-minute rush. Log on to itax.kra.go.ke.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
The risk of illness causing germs is increasing. It is believed that the coronavirus can remain on surfaces in your home for up to 9 days. Touching infected surfaces is one of the ways in which germs spread. Regularly disinfect your floors, countertops, and kitchen surfaces with bleach, and use an effective toilet cleaner inside and outside your toilet bowl. This message is brought to you by Medifacts, Jik and Harpic.
My whole life is in my phone. Niko na simu ya baba. Niko na simu ya baba. Niko na simu ya baba. Mimi niko sawa. Niko na simu ya baba. Kanipicha simu ya baba.
Tanzania's local film industry, Bongo Movies, has been on a downward spiral in the last 5 years or so. I'm here in Dar es Salaam to find out what is ailing the sector and what can be done to give it a new lease of life.
Ghana's backyard gyms are gaining momentum, breeding a new pack of athletes hungry to take their training to the next level.
Here in the Cape, traditional wine estates are now collaborating with influencers and celebrities to reach new markets for their bubbly.
His Excellency Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya is pleased to notify property owners within Kakamega County of his decision to extend a 100% waiver. The waiver has been extended from 1st June to 31st August 2020.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition. Now, unfortunate, unjustified, and unfair, just some of the adjectives that Kirinyaga County MCAs use in their description of the Senate's verdict on Governor Anne Waiguru's impeachment. They say that they are unbowed and are unrelenting in their quest to get her out of office. Dibala Inaya tells us why for the MCAs it is a case of a luta continua.
Kirinyaga County Governor Anne Waiguru's victory in the Senate was a pain point for the members of County Assembly who were keen on getting her out of office. Well, it appears the governor should not be too quick to pop that champagne bottle just yet. 23 of the MCAs, undeterred by Senate's verdict, are unflinching in their quest to see the governor out of office on what they describe as poor, corrupt leadership.
We shall not give up. Neither your deep pockets nor your influence will desist our pursuit of justice for the people of Kirinyaga. So help us God.
The legislators swore not to work with Waiguru, whom they accused of not being cooperative and undermining them, even after the county Jubilee chairman Mureithi Kangara called for ceasefire, and allies of the governor have allegedly been trying to reach out to them for reconciliation. But reconciliation does not seem to be in their line of sight, as they fault the Senate for, in their own words, letting her off the hook.
The body of your report did not speak to your findings. For a fact, we find it hard to understand how officers under the governor's watch were found culpable while the master was spared. Her insinuation in the Senate hearing that her impeachment was all about BBI politics in Kirinyaga and the Windamouth Kenya region are creations of her selfish and self-centered mind.
They also reminded President Uhuru Kenyatta they will not relent on the fight against corruption, as he implored them not to during his visit to the county. Dibala Inaya, NTV.
Millions of lives are being endangered by a well-connected liquefied petroleum gas trade cartel whose grip is choking the country's sector. This is according to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, which conducted a series of raids in both Nairobi and Kiambu counties. DCI says the syndicate comprises high-ranking state officials, politicians, law enforcers, and judicial officers, as Seth Olale now tells us.
An operation spearheaded by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations Special Crimes Unit in Kamkunji, Nairobi, led to the raid at the suspected illegal gas cylinder refilling store. over 150 cylinders bearing various farm branding were confiscated as dealers suspected of refilling them illegally. The suspects were summoned to appear before the Anti-Counterfeit Authority, ACA, with documentation proving their trade is legitimate.
The suspect cooperated and took us to where he does some storage around Pangani, and we managed also to seize around 13 kg cylinders and around 6 kg cylinders. We have seized them and entered them in our inventory, and we will store them at our godown as we do further investigations.
The investigating team launched another raid in Kikuyu, Kiambu County, where this van was impounded. The suspects then led detectives to the source of suspected illegal refilling of gas cylinders, where more cylinders bearing over 40 different brands were confiscated. The DCI says it has since November 2019 been trailing a cartel that has taken over the liquefied petroleum gas market, endangering lives of unsuspecting people and ruining genuine gas cylinder businesses.
Because they are meant to be refilled by Progas themselves, and it is also not authorized to be dealing in them either in refilling and selling.
The well-connected cartel allegedly has an established network that comprises high-ranking state officials, politicians, law enforcers, and judicial officers. So powerful is the cartel that the handling of some of the cases in court has raised eyebrows, as the regulator has issued suspects with punishments that are considered lenient before being allowed to resume operations. In one such incident, police conducted a night raid at a warehouse in Syokimau and say they confiscated close to 600 cylinders belonging to 42 different brands set for refilling. The owner was arrested and his 2 vehicles, which were loaded with the cylinders, were seized. The suspects were, however, released on a 20,000 shillings bond in what could be an eyebrow raiser. Just when the trader was about to take plea at the Mavoko Law Courts, the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, EPRA, was applying to withdraw the case, having given back the trader their operating license after issuing a warning letter, sparking bitter confrontation between the energy regulator and lawyers representing the cylinders brand owners.
The person is legally supposed to be charged in court. So we'll finalize our file and ensure that everything is in place, and maybe within a week, when the file is ready, we'll take him to court.
EPRA was forced to rescind its decision after complaints reached the Energy Ministry and other government agencies, including the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. An attempt to proceed with charges against the directors of the Mombasa Road-based firm is now under judicial review. Seth Olale, NTV.
You are watching NTV Weekend Edition. We still have plenty more for you, so please stay with us.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels, and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it.
Do your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
Explorers of the night, wale wase wa kuhustle usiku, kustreama movies, music mix diehards, and gaming fanatics. We've heard you. It is now your time to fly your flag high. Do what you love, mpaka che na Telkom. Join Usiku Sako with Telkom night bundles that allow you rule the night at prices you love. Join our tribe, Usiku Sako Squad. Just dial *544# from your Telkom line and select the night bundle of your dreams. You are the legend the night needs.
The Micro and Small Enterprises Authority is a state corporation established under the Micro and Small Enterprise Act number 55 of 2012 to coordinate and facilitate the implementation of various public and private sector initiatives for the promotion, development and regulation of MSMEs in Kenya to become key industries. For more information on how to register or partner with us, visit our website on www.msea.go.ke. MSEA, Entrepreneurship Transforming Kenya.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa. Where you shop matters.
Like every mother, I'm worried about dangerous insects, especially mosquitoes, which spread diseases like malaria to my loved ones. This year, I'm not afraid. I'm using Mortein Doom. Mortein Doom All Insect Killer provides protection in seconds. Not even a single mosquito is spared. Because even one mosquito bite can cause malaria. Mortein Doom provides protection in seconds.
Welcome back. Now, healthcare workers engaging in female genital mutilation have been warned of prosecution and sacking. Gender and Public Service Chief Administrative Secretary Rachel Shebesh is calling out health practitioners, especially female nurses in Nyamira and Kisii counties, over their involvement in the outlawed exercise. Rose Wangoi has just returned from Kisii with that story.
Kisii County, which has the highest rate of female genital mutilation in the country, has been put on the spot over alleged medicalization of the outlawed practice. Medicalization of FGM is where medical practitioners carry out FGM in the name of reducing risks of the cart. Gender and Public Service Chief Administrative Secretary Rachel Shebesh raised the concern that parents are increasingly having their girls, some as early as 5 years old, cut by nurses or other healthcare workers, either in homes or in health clinics.
Kisii and Nyamira, medicalization is the biggest problem we are having. Being cut by a person calling themselves a doctor or a nurse or a clinical officer. That is what is happening in Kisii. And that is why Kisii is number one. The silence in Kisii and Nyamira is your biggest threat. I don't think there's another threat. Ni kunyamaza yenyu. And if I look at your leaders, hawanyamazangi. So mimi sijui nyinyi mnanyamazaje.
It has also emerged that those who would be considered elites living in different towns and urban centers send their daughters to the rural areas during school holidays to undergo the cart.
24% of the women advocate for it, while 19% of men advocate for it.
People are educated, they know the effects of female genital mutilation, but still they send their children to their grandmothers and their grandparents so that they can be cut.
It only took a week to stop greeting each other. What is the rocket science about stopping FGM here, if it is a law?
Shebesh urged chiefs and their assistants to report cases of FGM in their areas of jurisdiction so that perpetrators can be dealt with in accordance to Prohibition of FGM Act 2011, as they will be held personally accountable for not reporting the vice.
If we put in the proper mechanisms through the office of the county commissioner, we would deal with almost 60 or 70% of the cases. The rest may be something that may take longer.
Then we'll work with the community to go deeper into the issues of culture and try as much as possible to align behind the noble vision of the president to bring an end to FGM by 2022.
Rozongoi, NTV.
And now to something that touches closer home. The Kenya Editors Guild is calling for the formation of a media sustainability fund to help the media industry survive the COVID-19 pandemic. The Guild additionally wants the national and county governments to offset pending bills owed to media houses. Please do that to enable them sustain their operations. The Guild is also pushing for tax incentives for the media industry struggling in the face of the pandemic. The editors have also called out what they term as the unprofessional methods some media companies are using to let go of their staff. Some media colleagues have recently been notified of their sacking by way of a text message.
We have already committed funds to help the tourism industry, for example, which has been particularly hit hard by COVID-19. The same consideration should be extended to the media sector, along with dedicated funding from all other available sources.
We all understand the situation we are in, but the most important thing is we consider these people as people with families, people with commitment, people with loans. So let's not, when we were employing them, we had a very good discussion. So even when we are laying them off, can we also have a good discussion?
Very pertinent issues raised by the Kenya Editors Guild there, and of course the media industry also feeling the heat of the COVID-19 pandemic, and we pray that we pay those bills so we can, get a salary as well. The government is to gazette the Kaptagat forest from exotic to an indigenous one in the next 2 weeks in a bid to improve its water catchment ability and address perennial landslides. Our reporter Gabriel Kudaka attended a tree planting exercise in Kaptagat within Elgeyo Marakwet County and brings us the details.
At least 18,000 seedlings are being planted at Kaptagat Forest for life-saving and life-giving reasons in an initiative led by the Minister for Environment.
Kaptagat is a critical water tower. Actually, the process has already started. Hakuna exotic trees zitapandwa tena kwa hii water tower. Hakuna.
As part of the global program to reduce emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, United Nations Development Program has been supporting many countries, including Kenya.
UNDP is partnering with both the national government but also county governments to help them actually put in place all the mechanisms that will enable Kenya to draw on international resources to help in implementing this Greening Kenya initiative.
Leaders present called on the government to come up with policies that will ensure more land is put under indigenous forest cover.
Unajua miti kimea kwa escarpment, my friend. Huwezi kata, utasimamia wapi na power sound ukate hiyo miti. That tree will be there for 100, 200 years. Lakini maisha ya binadamu huko inaangamia kwa sababu wanaishi kwa escarpment.
In a move aimed at enhancing conservation efforts, World Marathon champion Eliud Kipchoge signed an MOU with the Kenya Forest Service where he has adopted about 130 acres of land to plant indigenous trees for the next 5 years. Gabriel Kudaka, NTV.
And away from that, the end of lockdown is finally in sight, and the telltale signs, I should say, are all there. Only days after President Uhuru Kenyatta said domestic flights would resume soon, the Acting Director of Health, Dr. Patrick Amoth, has hinted at the possibility of the country opening up soon, as we told you in our top story. That was in the Daily Nation today. In your Daily Nation again tomorrow, find out what is the information behind the optimism. Also, forgotten people of Laikipia, in a country that has registered a school enrollment rate of nearly 100%. Half of the constituents of Laikipia North are illiterate. How did such a naturally well-endowed region get left behind? That is a question, and please don't miss your copy in the Daily Nation tomorrow for more details of that and plenty more. Let's take another short break on NTV Weekend Edition. We still have plenty more for you. Please stick with us.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
So vile nasema, wacha nikubatie statistics niko na gamia 1500 tunakuwa drapo gamia na kuwa 6000 2000 natengeneza leather, natengeneza viatu, wallet, kibeti nauza hapa na batia wewe 50%. Wacha niweke credit nikupigie.
Namna gani wewe? Hii mambo ya kuishiwa na credit kila saa. Come on. Nunua hiyo simu ya Vodafone. Calling fiber to fiber is 0 shillings per minute and it is not expensive. Only 2,999 Kenya shillings.
Alo hali wa. Hata fadhali hiyo credit ikae ninunue simu basi.
Faibika leo na Vodafone for only 2,999 Kenya shillings. It will always be free to call fiber to fiber.
Wa Kenya, hii fight hatukuchagua, lakini tuko na choice. Tuchague kujilinda. Tuchague kuprotect familia zetu. Tuchague usafi. Kuosha mikono. Kuosha manyumba zetu. Ndio tulinde watoto wetu. Na tuvae mask. Future yetu iko mikononi mwetu. Kenya, let's do it for the ones we love.
It's a new day. Make a move, doing things a new way. A new way. 'Cause this is our world, and this is our time. These are our plans, we're gonna let them shine. This is our place in the human race. And we won't stop dreaming. No, we won't stop dreaming.
The future of our nation relies on your dreams and our steel. Tononoka Group, at the core of every construction.
Enjoy the naturally appealing taste of our unique fruit blends. Every sip will delight your taste buds as they explode with flavor. It's only natural you invite your family and friends to your kind of world. An exciting world of 6 different flavors to pick from. Represent who you naturally are with Juice Drink. Naturally ours with no added preservatives. A quality product from Bitco Africa.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Now, it is meant to be good news, I should say, when someone is pregnant with a child, but when headlines of teenage pregnancies abound, that is news of a broken society. Over 20 girls under the age of 18 years from Kagundini ward in Kandara, that's in Murang'a County, are reported to be pregnant or recently have given birth. The data has been revealed by the Ahadi Kenya Trust Foundation, where it is alleged that some of the minors have been chased from their homes by their parents, while others have been forced to procure abortions.
It's business as usual at Kangwindini Dispensary in Murang'a, with patients streaming in from across county. Things seem as they should at a medical institution, but with a closer look, one would find out a very disturbing pattern. Among the pregnant women here for regular checkups, there are minors.
And today, I'm very shocked that within a very few hours, I've been able to meet over 20 young girls who are pregnant. And I think it's a very sad because some of these young children are in primary school, others have just joined secondary school, and I think as a country, we need to take this issue of early pregnancies very, very seriously. It does not matter the number of children who are affected.
Kamau has warned chiefs of arbitrating defilement cases in their jurisdictions. He said that all cases ought to go through the right steps so as to ensure justice has prevailed.
Mama yangu alifariki, tukaachwa na baba yangu. Baba yangu alikuwa anakunywa pombe, anakuja na tufukuza nyumbani, tukiwa na brother yangu mdogo. Sasa nikimuomba pesa hivi anakataa kunipea, nikiomba neighbors wananiambia hawana. Sasa hapo ndipo nilienda nikapata kijana mwenye ananisaidia, tukawa friends. Na sasa nikapata bora yake.
I've launched a campaign with all Ahadi Kenya volunteers all over the country to make sure that no child is chased away from their home because of being pregnant. I've also launched a campaign to see to it that no child aborts or no one is aided to go and abort their child.
Parents have been urged to monitor their children, especially during this time, to help curb cases of early pregnancies. Helen Aura, NTV.
That is actually just one of the issues we are discussing in a two-week campaign against sexual abuse and violence. And team coverage this Wednesday will be looking at some more content as regards that issue as well. Time to talk about some of these things so that we raise a morally upright society. Now, Facebook's failure to adequately address insightful and hateful content on its platform is now having a direct and adverse impact on the wealth of its founder, Mark Zuckerberg. The chief executive has lost more than 7 billion shillings due to the fall in the share price of Facebook that is attributed to the Stop Hate for Profit campaign by American civil rights groups. Coca-Cola is the latest company to pause or halt advertising on Facebook due to its weak response to hateful content. The social media giant depends heavily on advertisements for its revenue, and in the first 3 months of the year made some $17.4 billion from ad sales. So you can see where the money goes when you actually use the platform a lot and a lot more. Let's now cross the borders further, and President Uhuru Kenyatta has congratulated the new president of Malawi, Lazarus Chakwera. Opposition leader Chakwera was sworn in today after winning a rerun of the hotly disputed election, as Anita Nkonge now tells us.
Social distancing was probably the last thing on Malawians' minds as they watched and cheered their new president, Reverend Lazarus Chakwera's inauguration. The Malawian opposition leader beat Peter Mutharika, whose victory in a May 2019 ballot was overturned by the Constitutional Court over fraud allegations. The former evangelist preacher was declared the winner of the election replay held on Tuesday with almost 59% of the vote, according to results announced late Saturday.
Of the Constitution.
Malawi is now the second African country south of the Sahara to have presidential poll results overturned in court after Kenya in 2017. And it is the first time in the region that a vote rerun has led to the defeat of an incumbent leader.
The dream that binds us together is for us to enjoy shared prosperity, not just freedom.
Opposition candidate Saulos Chilima was sworn in as vice president. Some 6.8 million Malawians returned to the polls on Tuesday after the country's top court found the first election had been marred by widespread irregularities, including the use of correction fluid to tamper with results sheets. Chakwera was pronounced the winner with 2.6 million votes, while Mutharika took 1.75 million and underdog candidate Peter Domingo Kuwani over 32,400. Chakwera was sworn in without the instruments of power because Peter Mutharika boycotted the event as he disputed the results, calling for a third round of elections.
And on that note, we take another short breather here on NTV Weekend Edition. Ida Waringa is already in studio for the sports after this. Please stay with us.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. It is just 10 minutes drive from Kitengela town and 3.8 kilometers off the tarmac. This gated community project comes with solar street lighting, maram roads, beautiful trees, 24-hour security, and water connected to every plot. The best part is, families are already living here. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optiven.co.ke.
Optiven Limited, the pay-setters in real estate. What makes a Kenyan Dettol mom powerful?
I encourage my kids to learn new things, and if they get hurt, I rely on the power of my Dettol's One Capful. To fight germs, it's like my own first aid kit.
My family needs protection from germs. I use the power of Dettol's One Capful to disinfect surfaces and clothes to keep them clean and safe from germs.
I trust the power of Dettol's One Capful for bathing. The power of Dettol's One Capful protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Dettol, Kenya's #1 antiseptic for fighting germs. Become a powerful Kenyan mom with Dettol. Be 100% sure.
How to burp a baby. Lay your baby face down on your lap. Support your baby's head, making sure it's higher than his or her chest. Gently pat or rub the baby's back, leaving the baby comfortable and without any trapped gas.
Kisskids diapers. Kisskids, no rashes. Kisskids, no rashes. Bye-bye rashes. Bye diapers. Choose Kisskids.
COVID-19 waste disposal tips. Separate or segregate the waste at source. Use biomedical waste bin liners. Use licensed NEMA biomedical waste handlers for transportation. Use dedicated vehicle to collect COVID-19 waste. In rural areas, disinfect the COVID-19 waste before disposal.
It is important to note that proper waste management is an essential public duty in the fight against COVID-19.
NEMA, mazingira yetu, uhai wetu, wajibu wetu.
Tanzania's local film industry, Bongo Movies, has been on a downward spiral in the last 5 years or so. I'm here in Dar es Salaam to find out what is ailing the sector and what can be done to give it a new lease of life.
Ghana's backyard gyms are gaining momentum, breeding a new pack of athletes hungry to take their training to the next level.
Here in the Cape, traditional wine estates are now collaborating with influencers and celebrities to reach new markets for their bubbly.
His Excellency Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya is pleased to notify property owners within Kakamega County of his decision to extend a 100% waiver. The waiver has been extended from 1st June to 31st August 2020.
My Kenya, My Story mobile phone film competition, an initiative of the Kenya Film Commission, is an annual event that seeks to inspire creativity among filmmakers in the country and to widen the scope of filmmaking exclusively using smartphones. After a public campaign by the participants and a rigorous tallying process, a 5-member jury selects the winners. This Tuesday, 30th June, the Kenya Film Commission will announce the winners of the 3rd edition of this competition in a virtual live event which will be aired on NTV. The winners will walk away with cash prizes and complimentary giveaways from our partners. Kenya Film Commission. Film Kenya. Capture Africa.
Hoping you've had a fantastic weekend. Time for the latest in the world of sport. Now, whenever steeplechase is mentioned, the names of two-time Olympics champion Ezekiel Kimboy or the reigning champion Conseslus Kipruto are most likely to come to one's mind. But unknown to many, the doors to Kenyan dominance in the event was opened by one Amos Biwott during the 1968 Olympics in Mexico, while our reporter Steve Keter spent some time with the legend at his home in Mulango area, Nandi County, and brings us the life story of a hero who now lives a not-so-honorable life.
At 72 years of age, Amos Biwott still trains every morning, accompanied by his wife Chelimo Mayo, who is also an Olympian.
Mazoezi ni kitu ya muhimu sana kwa sababu inarudisha mwili kawaida.
Well, and that is it. Now it's time to hit the road with the legends.
Yeah.
It is in these muddy paths, rocky steep hills and valleys, catalyzed with teenage fancy for fame, that shaped Biwott's athletics career back in the mid-60s.
Kila Kipchoge, kina Naftali Temu, tunaanza kusikia, kumbe hii kitu mzuri, ukikimbia unaweza kutangaza kwa redio. Tukasema bana, mpaka hata sisi tusikike kwa redio. Wakati huo wote nilikwambia nilikuwa timekeeper. Nakimbia Lilmuko, narudi, nakimbia asubuhi, tena kwenda Lilmuko, unapitia mlima, mabonde. Sasa nilikuwa nafanya mazoezi.
His journey to the Olympics came by chance during the Rift Valley Province School Games. After missing out in his 5,000 meters, he got a chance in the steeplechase race.
Nikaambiwa sasa fulani amegonjeka, kwa nini usijaribu? Nikasema sawa. Kwanza after all civil race ni kusunguka mara 7 na nimesunguka ile mara 12. Nikaingia nikawa namba 2 kwa civil race. Waja mambo itokee sasa. Sinaenda national na nilikuwa nimerudishwa nyumbani.
He finished second in the national finals in Nyeri, qualifying for the East African Games held in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
Kwenda Dar es Salaam, nikaqualify kuingia Olympic. Dar es Salaam.
During the 1968 Olympics Games in Mexico, Biwott produced a spectacular sprint to beat his compatriot Ben Kogo and an American athlete in the 3,000-meter steeplechase men's final. Unknown to many, Biwott did not even know it was the finals in the first place.
Sikuwa nimeenda Olympic, kumbe tulikuwa final. Hata wazi ningekuwa mbele. Lakini nilipogundua kumbe tunamaliza na nilikuwa mbali, nikaamuka na ile speed ilikuwako. Na nikaenda tukakutana na Pengo huko na mzungu wa Amerika kwa maji. Nikaruka maji ile style yangu. Nikaenda nikashinda.
Biwott had a unique technique. He rarely stepped in the water while jumping over the barriers.
Na hapo ilikuwa nzuri kwa sababu wale wenzangu wanaingia kwa maji, takuwa nimeruka ile hurdles. Sasa sinaenda.
After the 1968 Olympics, Biwott represented Kenya in several tournaments, including African and Commonwealth Games. But he was not able to replicate his Mexico feat. In the 1972 Olympics, Biwott finished 6th in the steeplechase final, but he won a special prize as he met the love of his life at the Munich Games.
Alikuwa anakimbia 15 na 8. Ndio tulikutania tukajua kumbe unatoka ni wa nyumbani namna hiyo.
With Kenya boycotting the 1976 Olympics, Biwott's career came to a halt. According to him, during his time athletics was not lucrative.
Na unarutu unapewa transport unaenda nyumbani na certificate au mitila. Tulipoacha ndio hii mambo ya pesa ikaingia.
He however has many fond memories of his heydays.
Nimefika New York, nimepitia Florida, nimerudi, nimefika London Commonwealth Games 1970. Alafu tukaenda hizi World Games, Norway, Finland, Sweden. Sinajisikia vizuri.
Biwott had joined Kenya prisons until 1972 and worked until 1978 when he left the service under unclear circumstances. Then the struggle began as he sought to fend for his family by trying his hands in various jobs.
Sasa kama unakuja KRSO, usiku town huko.
Watoto ndio hiyo. Kwanza kusoma alikuwa ni ngumu kabisa. Lakini Mungu alisaidia.
Serikali ya kaunti, serikali ya national government watukumbuke. Hata kwanza wakati wa homa angekuwa natumia sisi kitu. Unajua tumezeeka sasa, tuko nyumbani, angekuwa natukumbuka hivyo.
Biwott is proud of Kenya's prowess in the steeplechase, and among the current top steeplechase athletes, reigning Olympics champions Conseslus Kipruto is his favorite.
Tena ni jirani wangu, si anatoka Muzurio. Ni karibu na mimi, akipita hapa, niwaambia wewe bwana, fanya bidii. Tulifungua njia.
The legendary athlete has a word of advice to the current athletes.
Wakule chakula, ile chakula ya kienyeji, wapate nguvu. Chakula siku hizi iko mingi, lakini wawache na matawa. So unaona hiyo madhara imelete. Tena unakimbia na matawa baadaye, juu hata inaharibu mwili.
After he won Kenya its first gold medal in the 3,000 steeplechase during the 1968 Olympics, Kenya has won every other single Olympics gold medal in the event up to now. But Kenya's lucky charm remains the pride of the country, just in the books of history, but on the ground, nothing much. Steve Keter, NTV Sports, Nandi County.
Thanks for that, Keter. Let's give people flowers while they can still smell them. Well, Kenyans' love for the English Premier League often brings them together for the games, but this time, Manchester United fans from Bungoma County joined hands to extend a helping hand. The Red Devils fan club donated blood to the Bungoma Referral Hospital for those in need in a blood drive done in memory of a recently deceased nurse from the hospital named Rose. This comes after the Ministry of Health raised concerns over the shortage of blood reserves in the country. The fans also gave out preventative masks to various residents in the area in a bid to mitigate the effects of COVID-19.
And with the issue of corona go on, kupata damu imekuwa ngumu. That's why tumekuja kama fans kudonate na tungependa kuwahimiza. Ikikufikia ndio utajua ni kitu ya maana.
Damu sisi kama madaktari na idara ya afya kutegemea sana makanisa, shule na colleges, na kwa sasa zimefungwa kwa muda na imeleta upungufu mkubwa.
Wakati wa corona, we've not been together. We're looking for avenues za kukuja pamoja and helping the society to understand that corona is not the end of the world.
Let's move on. Defending champions Manchester City are currently playing away to Newcastle in the last quarter-final of the FA Cup. Earlier today, Arsenal saw off a stubborn Sheffield United 2-1, while Chelsea pipped Leicester 1-0. Last night, Manchester United captain Harry Maguire scored in the last minute of extra time to aid the Red Devils' defeat to lowly Norwich 2-1, or rather the Red Devils did beat Norwich 2-1. The semi-final draw will be done tonight with the FA Cup final slated for 1st of August. In the La Liga, Real Madrid can establish a 2-point lead if they beat bottom side Espanyol tonight. In other matches Sunday, Villarreal beat Valencia 2-0, Levante downed Real Betis 4-2, and Granada are currently facing Eibar. Last night, Barcelona's title hopes were dented after a 2-2 draw away to relegation-threatened Celta Vigo. A Luis Suarez double was cancelled by Fedo and Iago Aspas. The result saw Barcelona go top of the log with the point. This as Atletico Madrid edged Alaves 2-1 to cement third place, as Osasuna saw off Leganes by a similar margin. Well, that does it for Sports for tonight. It's back to Edmund, who was fretting earlier on as Arsenal looked like they were going to fall at the hands of Sheffield United. Edmund.
But they did not, did they? They won that match. So those Manu Damu fans there are donating blood as well. What a good initiative. Thank you so much for sparing a few minutes or an hour at least for us on NTV Weekend Edition. Thank you so much. My name is Edmund Nyabola. Sign language interpreter for this evening has been David Agondoa. Do have a lovely night. Bye.